The ABCDEF is a regular hexagon with side 1 centimeter. So we understand that all these sides are of length 1 centimeters and it's a regular. That means all the interior angles and all the exterior angles are equal. Now let me also tell you that the interior angle is calculated as 180 minus 360 divided by n, in which 360 divided by n is equal to the each exterior angle. So we can find out the value of each exterior and interior angle. In case of a regular hexagon, the interior angle becomes 180 minus 60, that is equal to 120 degrees, while the exterior angle becomes 360 over 6, that is equal to 60 degrees. Now, what is the area of triangle BDX? So in this BDX triangle, one thing that we know is the length of BD, because that can definitely be calculated. Because if we just simply draw a line BD such as this, we can find out its length by simply using the right triangle properties, in which we get that these two triangles are 30, 60, 90 triangles. At the same time, there are other ways as well, that the length of BD will be equal to twice the height of an equilateral triangle, because a regular hexagon can be divided into 6 equilateral triangles if we just join all the longest diagonals like this. And this is representing twice the height of 2 equilateral triangles. So we can say that the length of BD is twice of root 3 divided by 2 of 1, that is equal to root 3. Now the only problem is just to find out where is the point X located so that the height can be calculated, because the area of any triangle is half of base into height. So our entire focus will be on finding out the height, for which we need to fix where the point X is. Now let's look at the statement. Here the first statement says that AF is equal to FX, which means that AF, this line, has to be equal to Fx, which means we can quickly draw a figure separately. We should always draw the figure ourselves in case of any question of geometry. Now, so there is one possibility: we can draw a line of line Fx, which is also of length 1 centimeter, and there is one possible triangle BDX that we get such as this, where we have these 2 points BD and this point is X, and this is exactly in the line extended to this diagonal, right? This is one possibility, but the question does not mention that where exactly point X is. So at the same time, we could draw another possibility as well, and that possibility could be a line such as this, because if the same length, the same line can be drawn here as well, then the area of these two triangles will be different, because the height in this case is greater while the height in the other case is smaller. Therefore we can say that the first statement alone is not sufficient at this juncture, because we don't know what will be the height of this triangle BDX that we are trying to find out. So we say that option A and option D are out. We are left with now 3 options, option B, C and E. Now let's quickly check the second statement. The second statement says that AFX is equal to XFE. These two angles are equal. So let's look at AFX. That means this angle is same as XFE. That means these two angles are identical. So I'm going to draw the figure once again for this statement. So now we see that these two angles are exactly equal. But for these two angles equal, we don't know that how far is X from the point F, right? Which means while one possibility is this kind of a figure, the other possibility is a figure such as this. In both the cases, the length of BD is fixed, but the height is constantly changing, because the X point can be here, the X point can be here as well, and different heights will render different areas. Therefore the second statement alone as well is not sufficient to answer the question. Now we eliminate option B as well, and we move to the third option, third stage, that is combination of the two statements. While we combine the two statements, we can see that now we have to draw the line Fx such that its length is equal to 1 unit, because the first statement confirms that AF is equal to Fx. At the same time, we also have to ensure that these two angles are identical. So now we know that all these lines are equal and these two angles are identical. That means now the point X has a fixed location, and for that fixed location we will have a fixed triangle BDX, in which we already have calculated the length of BD. The only thing that we need to calculate is the length of the height, which we can calculate, and there are several methodologies that we have to use here. We can find it out, because this particular distance can be found, this distance can also be found, and this line we already have the unit 1 unit long. So we can find out the height since we have the fixed triangle. that is sufficient reason for us to say that the information at this stage is sufficient to answer the question, and hence the final answer to the question becomes option C. Thank you so much.